Welcome to Fun Facts Online. In the vast digital world we all live in, a new kind of pollution is spreading. It's not plastic in the oceans or smog in the air. It's a flood of falsehoods, half-truths, and outright lies, all designed to manipulate and divide us. And the engine driving this pollution? Artificial intelligence. Today, we're diving deep into the world of AI-driven disinformation, where automated bots act as tireless, unseen puppeteers, threatening everything from our elections to our trust in science itself. This isn't just a tech problem. It's a fundamental challenge to our shared reality. Deception is as old as human history. Back in the 1st century BC, the future Roman Emperor Octavian ran a smear campaign against his rival, Mark Antony. He etched slogans onto coins, the ancient world's version of a political meme, painting Antony as a drunk controlled by a foreign queen, Cleopatra. It worked, helping Octavian consolidate power. Fast forward to the 15th century, when the printing press dramatically scaled up the potential for lies. In 1835, a series of newspaper articles about discovering life on the moon, known as the Great Moon Hoax, captivated and fooled the public. The 20th century industrialized propaganda. During World War II, radio broadcasts like Tokyo Rose spread demoralizing messages to Allied troops, while the Nazis used their propaganda machine to demonize Jewish people with horrifying effectiveness. During the Cold War, the US and the Soviet Union used media outlets like Radio Free Europe to fight a global battle of ideas. But the internet, and especially social media, changed the game entirely. Suddenly, anyone could be a publisher. This broke the monopoly on information held by governments and traditional media. But it also created a perfect breeding ground for malicious actors. Social media algorithms designed to maximize our engagement by showing us exciting or emotional content accidentally became powerful amplifiers for sensationalism, regardless of whether it was true. And now, AI has thrown gasoline on the fire. What once took a state-sponsored agency with a huge budget can now be done cheaply and easily by small groups or even individuals. AI can generate not just text, but hyper-realistic images, videos, and audio, what we call deepfakes, that can make it look like anyone said or did anything. This is a dangerous new chapter in the long story of disinformation. At the heart of this modern deception engine is the AI-powered bot. These aren't the simple, spammy bots of the early internet. Today's bots are sophisticated digital actors designed to perfectly mimic human behavior. They are the foot soldiers in this new information war. So, how do they work? First, they create and spread content. Using large language models, or LLMs, these bots can generate enormous amounts of text, social media posts, comments, even entire news articles that are often impossible to distinguish from something a human wrote. A study of one Russian-backed propaganda outlet found that after adopting generative AI, they massively increased the quantity and variety of their disinformation. And the AI-written articles were just as persuasive as those written by humans. Next, these bots manipulate social media algorithms. They use tactics like click and like farming, where swarms of bots artificially inflate a post's popularity, signaling to the platform that it's important and should be shown to more people. They also form repost networks, where a central bot posts something and a coordinated army of other bots instantly shares it, creating a cascade of amplification that makes a fringe idea look like a mainstream opinion. This tactic is called astroturfing, creating a fake impression of grassroots support. They can also hijack trending hashtags to inject their own narratives into popular conversations. To make all this believable, they create highly realistic fake personas. AI generates profile pictures of people who don't exist, writes detailed backstories, and even creates a history of normal-looking posts. These sock puppet accounts build trust with real users before they start spreading lies. Some of these accounts, known as sleepers, might stay dormant for months or even years before being activated for a coordinated campaign, making them incredibly difficult to spot. A 2024 study found it was trivial to launch bots on platforms like X and Reddit, despite policies against them. This combination of advanced technology and ease of deployment makes AI bots a formidable force, polluting our digital world at a scale and speed we've never seen before. But the technology is only half the story. The real power of this disinformation comes from how it exploits the built-in glitches in our own minds. We are all vulnerable because of something called cognitive biases, which are mental shortcuts our brains use to make sense of the world. First, there's confirmation bias. This is our tendency to seek out and believe information that confirms what we already think, while ignoring anything that contradicts it. Disinformation campaigns are masters at feeding our existing beliefs, making us more likely to accept and share their content without a second thought. Social media feeds often become echo chambers, where we only see things that reinforce our views, making this bias even stronger. Then there's the bandwagon effect. This is our tendency to believe something is true simply because it seems like a lot of other people believe it. The bot armies creating fake grassroots support, that astroturfing we talked about, are designed to trigger this exact effect, making a lie feel like a widely accepted fact. Another powerful glitch is the illusory truth effect. This is the simple fact that the more we hear something, the more we believe it's true, even if we initially knew it was false. The sheer volume and repetition that AI bots can achieve is a direct attack on this vulnerability. Disinformation is also powerfully emotional. It's often designed to make us feel strong emotions, like fear, anger, or outrage. Research consistently shows that emotionally charged content gets shared far more often, essentially bypassing our rational thinking. During the COVID-19 pandemic, fear made people highly susceptible to misinformation about the virus and vaccines. A study found there's a staggering 78% chance of encountering misinformation when you search for vaccine information online. AI supercharges the exploitation of these vulnerabilities. By analyzing massive amounts of our data, AI can create hyper-personalized disinformation tailored to our specific beliefs, biases, and emotional triggers, making it incredibly persuasive. This creates a perfect storm where sophisticated technology meets predictable human psychology. The consequences of this are not abstract. They are real, and they are damaging the very fabric of our societies. One of the biggest impacts is the erosion of trust in our core institutions: government, elections, the justice system, and the media. When we are constantly bombarded with conflicting narratives, it becomes hard to know who or what to believe. This leads to widespread cynicism, where even credible information is dismissed. This is incredibly dangerous for democracy. Disinformation can be used to influence elections by spreading lies about candidates or fabricating claims of voter fraud. In the 2022 Philippine presidential election, for example, AI-driven ads were allegedly used to spread misleading political messages. It also has a huge impact on public health. The flood of medical misinformation about COVID-19 and vaccines cost lives and hampered efforts to control the pandemic. The economy isn't safe either. In 2023, a single AI-generated fake image of an explosion near the Pentagon caused a brief but real dip in the US stock market. Beyond institutions, these campaigns fuel political polarization. By feeding different ideological groups tailored content, they deepen existing divisions and make it almost impossible to find common ground. Constructive debate is replaced with tribalism and anger. The World Economic Forum's 2024 Global Risks Report identified misinformation and disinformation as one of the most severe threats facing the world. So how do we fight back? The battle for truth is being fought on three main fronts: technology, regulation, and education. Ironically, AI itself is one of our best weapons. Researchers are building AI-powered fact-checking tools that can analyze news and social media posts in real time, cross-referencing claims against credible databases. While the accuracy of these tools is still improving, some have shown very high efficacy rates. Another technological front is deepfake detection. This is a constant arms race. As AI gets better at creating fakes, we need AI that's better at spotting the tiny invisible flaws. A more proactive approach is watermarking. Initiatives like the Coalition for Content Provenance and Authenticity, or C2PA, are developing a technical standard to certify the source and history of a piece of media, like a digital birth certificate for content. This would help us know if an image or video is authentic. On the policy front, governments are starting to act. The European Union's Digital Services Act requires large online platforms to actively assess and reduce the risks posed by disinformation. In the US and India, legislation is being proposed to label AI-generated content and criminalize malicious deepfakes. But regulation is a tricky balancing act between fighting falsehoods and protecting free speech. Ultimately, though, the most powerful and lasting defense is a well-informed and critical public. This means we need a massive investment in media literacy and critical thinking education. Programs that teach skills like lateral reading, which is the simple habit of, before you share something, opening a new tab and searching for what other credible sources say about the topic, are essential. We need to teach people how to spot biases, differentiate fact from opinion, and understand the ethics of sharing information. Researchers are even experimenting with what they call psychological inoculation, or pre-bunking. This involves exposing people to weakened versions of manipulation techniques in a controlled way, like through a game, to help them build up cognitive resistance to future attempts at manipulation. As we look to the future, the challenge of AI-powered deception is only going to grow. The arms race between deepfake generation and detection will continue. This leads to a scary concept called the liar's dividend. This is where the mere existence of convincing deepfakes allows guilty people to dismiss real video or audio evidence of their wrongdoing by simply claiming it's a deepfake. This erodes the very concept of objective proof and makes holding people accountable incredibly difficult. The potential for hyper-personalized disinformation, crafted just for you based on your data, also looms large. This could create tiny, individual echo chambers, fragmenting society even further. But we can't afford to be fatalistic. Tech companies must prioritize information quality over pure engagement. Governments must craft smart regulations. And most importantly, all of us, as individuals, must become more critical consumers of information. The AI disinformation engine is powerful, but it's not unbeatable. By understanding how it works, recognizing our own vulnerabilities, and committing to a culture of critical thinking, we can defend the integrity of our information ecosystem and ensure that in this new digital age, truth still has a fighting chance.